over the world, local consumer prices continue to hover at the 2% since rate in April.
Turning to robots to allow the visually impaired the chance to better indulge in cultural experiences, like the number of hybrid cars are registered in South Korea has surpassed 2 million using its locally developed Yuri rocket.
Arirang.
A record-breaking heat wave continues to grip much of South Korea, with temperatures in the capital region expected to soar to as high as 39 degrees Celsius today. The relentless heat is also disrupting professional sports, with all KBO games scheduled for Wednesday and Thursday canceled, for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic. South Korea's current account surplus hit another record high in June, driven largely by strong semiconductor exports. Exports surged more than 80%, surpassing the $100 billion mark for the first time. Iran says it has reached an agreement with Oman on a route for shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. The country's foreign ministry spokesperson did not give any further details, but said the agreement is in the final stages, raising hopes of an easing in regional tensions. Hello and thanks for joining us on Arirang News. We begin today with South Korea's record-breaking heat wave that's intensifying, with temperatures nearing 39 degrees Celsius in the capital region. The relentless heat is also taking a growing human and economic toll, with heat-related illnesses and deaths climbing, while all KBO games on Wednesday and Thursday have been called off. Our Lee Seung-jae starts us off.
South Korea remains in the grip of an intense heat wave, with dangerously high temperatures expected to continue across most of the country on Thursday, just one day before Ipchu, the traditional beginning of autumn. The Korean Meteorological Administration says heat wave alerts remain in effect nationwide, while tropical nights are also expected to persist. The most extreme conditions are forecast for the greater Seoul area and parts of the Jeollanam-do province, where the highest level of heat emergency remains in place. Daytime highs are expected to reach around 39 degrees Celsius in parts of the Seoul metropolitan area and Gwangyang, with the heat index climbing above 38 degrees. Forecasters warn that these conditions pose a serious risk to health and urge people to avoid prolonged outdoor activity. The relentless heat is also taking a growing toll. As Seoul enters its second straight day under the highest level heat emergency, daily heat-related illnesses continue to reach record levels. According to the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency, Seoul reported 39 cases of heat-related illness on Tuesday alone. That breaks the previous record of 25 cases set on August 3rd, after 18 cases were reported on August 2nd. Before this month, the highest daily figure had just been 12 cases. Nationwide, health authorities say 21 people have died from heat-related illnesses so far this year, already surpassing last year's total of 20 fatalities. Since the heat illness surveillance system began operating in mid-May, 2,441 people have visited emergency rooms with heat-related conditions. The extreme weather is also disrupting professional sports. The Korea Baseball Organization canceled all 10 KBO League games scheduled for Wednesday and Thursday evening. The league says the move is intended to protect players and fans as officials review guidelines for games played under severe heat. The affected games were scheduled to be played in Seoul, Incheon, Gwangju, Daegu, and Busan. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
And as the relentless heat continues to grip the capital, Seoul is strengthening its response to protect residents from the extreme temperatures. Our Shin So-won explains more.
With temperatures reaching 39 degrees Celsius across much of Seoul, the highest level heat alert has been in place since Tuesday, while the heat island effect traps heat between buildings and asphalt. In response, the local governments converted around 4,000 community centers and senior citizen centers into cooling shelters, providing residents with free air-conditioned spaces.
The temperature outside of this community center is 36 degrees Celsius.
But inside the cooling shelters, the temperature can come down to 27 degrees Celsius. For residents vulnerable to extreme heat, these shelters can provide them a chance to cool off before heat exhaustion becomes a medical emergency. Listed on the Seoul Metropolitan Government's website and open for unlimited visits, cooling shelters also serve as a shared ground that infuses community spirit.
This center has served local seniors for more than 40 years, but anyone, not just members, can come in and take a break from the heat.
The National Disaster Management Research Institute says heat-related illnesses at home more than double during extreme heat, especially among elderly and low-income residents who lack regular health checkups.
If heat-related symptoms appear, you may not be able to respond on your own. So when outdoor activity is unavoidable, make sure you are with someone rather than alone.
Non-profit organizations such as the Buddhist-affiliated Wongaksa also provide relief from the heat, serving free meals that help residents regain their strength.
Preparing these meals is deeply rewarding for us. We serve simple, traditional home-style food, just like the meals people used to eat at home.
Founded in 1993, the center operates a year-round without a single day off, providing a daily meal to about 250 to 300 people.
I come here 3 or 4 times a week. Eating out is too expensive, so this free meal helps me save around 12 to 13,000 won each time.
For workers who usually consume caffeine, its diuretic effect can accelerate dehydration by causing the body to lose more fluid. To help offset that risk, free bottled water is handed out to pedestrians across the city. Experts say headaches and fatigues are among the earliest signs of heat-related illness, advising people to avoid unnecessary outdoor activity between noon and 5 p.m. when temperatures are typically at their highest. 신소은, Arirang News.
Korea's current account surplus hit an all-time high in June, continuing its record-breaking momentum from May. According to the Bank of Korea on Thursday, Korea's current account recorded a surplus of $49.73 billion in June. Exports surged nearly 85% year-on-year, pushing goods exports past the $100 billion mark for the first time. Semiconductors and information technology products sustained their high export growth. Imports also rose nearly 39%, though at a slower rate than exports. The Trump administration is expected to announce tariffs and minimum import prices on polysilicon as early as Thursday, targeting a key material used in solar panels and semiconductors. According to Reuters and Bloomberg, the plan includes a 15% tariff on polysilicon derivatives following a year-long Commerce Department investigation aimed at countering China's dominance of the supply chain. Korean firms, which have invested heavily in U.S. solar and chip manufacturing, are closely watching the potential impact. Seoul had earlier urged Washington to apply any restrictions flexibly to Korean companies. The Strait of Hormuz has become one of the biggest points of tension in the Middle East conflict, and new developments now suggest those tensions could begin to ease as Iran signals a new deal is on the horizon. Arbuniran reports.
Iran says it is in the final stages of reaching an agreement with Oman on a new commercial shipping route through the Strait of Hormuz, raising hopes of easing a standoff that has disrupted global oil markets for months. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai said Wednesday that the two countries have agreed on the geographic coordinates of the proposed route after 2 months of negotiations. He said a joint statement outlining the agreement is now being finalized, provided third parties do not obstruct the process, apparently referring to the United States. The Strait of Hormuz, which links the Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman, has seen shipping severely disrupted since the United States and Israel went to war with Iran in February. Before the conflict, roughly 1/5 of the world's traded oil and natural gas passed through the narrow waterway. According to Iran's deputy foreign minister, the new route would replace existing temporary shipping lanes now in use across the strait, with much of the passage running through Iranian territorial waters. He stressed that the arrangement would not amount to a full reopening of the strait and said any broader agreements must be negotiated exclusively between Iran and Oman without outside involvement. Meanwhile, two regional officials briefed on the talks told the Associated Press that negotiators have completed a draft agreement and are awaiting final approval from Iran's supreme leader. Separately, officials told the New York Times that under the emerging terms, ships entering the Persian Gulf would travel through a channel controlled by Iran, while outbound vessels would use a route near Oman. The reported arrangement would serve as a temporary solution and could create conditions for renewed US-Iran negotiations. However, key differences remain. Iran insists on retaining a measure of control over shipping through the strait, while Washington has opposed any agreement that would give Tehran authority over international maritime traffic or allow it to collect transit-related fees. Moon Hae-ryun, Arirang News.
The number of long-haul visitors to South Korea surpassed 2 million in the first half of this year, showing a diversification of Korea's tourism market. Long-haul markets refer to regions that generally require longer distance travel, including the Americas, Europe, Oceania, and Africa. According to the Culture Ministry, arrivals from the Americas reached 1.08 million, up 12.7% on year. Visitors from Europe rose 20.2% to 740,000, while arrivals from Oceania, Africa, and other markets increased 11%. Combined, visitors from these regions totaled just over 2.02 million, marking 15% growth. The ministry attributed the growth to an increase in direct flights and overseas marketing linked to Korean cultural content. Starting next year, admission fees for South Korea's major royal palaces and Joseon Dynasty royal tombs, including Gyeongbokgung Palace and Deoksugung Palace, will increase. In a policy briefing on Wednesday, the Korea Heritage Service said it will announce the new admission fee schedule in November, with the revised prices taking effect on January 1, 2027. Currently, admission for adults is 3,000 won, or $2.11 at Gyeongbokgung and Changdeokgung Palaces, and 500 to 2,000 won, or 35 cents to $1.41 at the Joseon Royal Tombs. Those admission fees have remained unchanged since 2005. Solar farms have long been viewed as a challenge for farmers because they can block the sunlight that crops need. But a new technology is making it possible to generate solar power while boosting agricultural productivity. Our Kim Sa-young reports.
In this large field, solar panels stretch overhead. Underneath, a glass greenhouse grows medicinal herbs. These panels generate enough electricity to power 1,000 four-person households for a year, while farmers earn extra income from the crops below, catching two birds with one stone. This method is called Agrivoltaics, combining solar power generation with farming on the same land.
We calculate the sunlight each crop needs, then space the panels accordingly.
Blocked sunlight has long been a problem, limiting crop growth and keeping the method from catching on among Korean farmers. That changed when a special act supporting agrivoltaics passed, and supporting technologies have since developed quickly.
Once regulatory hurdles are cleared, farmers can fully adopt this technology. That should be the role of the government and local municipalities.
Farming communities are hopeful that agrivoltaics could let them generate both energy and income, a welcome boost to their bottom line. Kim So-young, Arirang News.
Thrombosis, which is when a blood clot forms in a blood vessel or your heart, can lead to life-threatening conditions such as strokes or heart attacks. Researchers in South Korea have discovered that a substance in an endangered tree can help treat the disease with fewer side effects. Our Cha Young-kyung has more.
Abies nephrolepis is a needle-leaf tree native to Korea, known for its sharp, deep green needles. However, its population has decreased sharply due to climate change, leaving only about 15 trees in the Gapyeong area of Gyeonggi-do province. However, a surprising medical efficacy has been found in this precious tree. The Gyeonggi-do Forest Environment Research Institute discovered a powerful substance that inhibits blood clotting from an extract of the tree stem. Notably, this extract demonstrated an anti-blood clotting efficacy more than twice as effective as aspirin, which is commonly used in conventional treatments. Furthermore, because it is a natural material, the risk of side effects such as gastrointestinal distress or bleeding is minimal.
It has been proven that the extract of Abies nephrolepis can be utilized in various forms, such as health functional foods and medical supplies. We plan to initiate the development of diverse products and medicines.
Following the patent registration, the province is set to accelerate the commercialization of bioproducts by distributing related samples to the private sector. Over the past 13 years, Gyeonggi-do Province has secured extracts from 155 different species of forest resources. 차윤경, 아리랑 뉴스.
This is the world now. In the United States, private employers added just 44,000 jobs in July, well down from 95,000 jobs in June and short of what economists expected. Payrolls firm ADP released the figures on Wednesday, which showed that nearly all the growth came from healthcare and education, which added 36,000 jobs. Financial services also added 10,000 jobs. The Bureau of Labor Statistics releases its official July numbers in 2 days. In the United States, left-wing candidate Abdul El-Sayed has won Michigan's Democratic Senate primary, beating the candidate party leaders backed. El-Sayed, the 41-year-old son of Egyptian immigrants, ran on health care, the cost of living, and an end to unconditional military aid to Israel. On Tuesday, he beat Congresswoman Haley Stevens, who had the party leadership. The win was narrow. He did not reach 50% of the vote, and on Wednesday, he called on Democrats to unite. Republicans call him too extreme for Michigan. He faces former Congressman Mike Rogers in November in a race that could decide who controls the Senate. In Germany, police say a drone carrying explosives has been found at a major cargo airport. A worker at Leipzig-Halle Airport spotted the object beside Ukrainian cargo planes. Police sent in a robot to destroy the device in a controlled blast. A second object hit a cargo plane nearby, causing minor damage. Germany's interior minister said this was a, quote, new level of threat and hinted foreign powers may be involved. Ukraine's ambassador to Germany points at Russia. Moscow has not commented. In Mexico, a social media star has been shot dead during a live stream. Cesar Gastelum was outside a fast food restaurant in the northwestern city of Culiacan on Tuesday when two helmeted riders pulled up on a motorcycle. The driver appeared to fire directly at him. Officials in Sinaloa state say a large security operation is underway. Chu Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
Today's extreme heat is escalating beyond uncomfortable conditions to hazardous levels. It will be even hotter today with an expected high of 39 degrees Celsius here in Seoul. And the intense heat continues through the night as well, with Seoul enduring tropical nights for 15 days, while Jeju has had 30 straight tropical nights so far. In addition to the heat, intense sunlight will drive high ozone concentrations across western regions. Health officials urge everyone to minimize outdoor exposure and stay hydrated. So while Seoul gets up to 39 degrees Celsius, Chuncheon will be topping out at 38 degrees. Daegu will make it to 36 degrees under burning sunshine nationwide. Tomorrow seems to be a repeat of today, then the boiling heat will ease by the weekend. However, Typhoon Dolphin, which is heading toward Shanghai, could bring more heat or rain to the Korean peninsula.
Now that's all we have for today's noon edition of Arirang News. Thank you for watching. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Korea time. Stay tuned.
라면 먹고 싶어. 나 라면 먹고 싶어요. 매끈매끈하다, 매끈매끈한. 뿅뿅하다, 뿅뿅한. 왔니? 왔어? 고객님 왔냐고? 병원에 사람이 이제 사람이 몸에 좋은 약초. 라면이에요? I'm eating this right now. Let's go. 할머니! 아카니 시고. 아카니 시고. 아카니 시고.
Time to set the facts straight. Get Korea right.